Hey guys, it's Joe from Finding Faith, and I wanted to follow up my video explaining the problem of evil, essentially why evil has to exist in God's plan. I wanted to follow this up talking about where evil came from, because God is described as being infinitely holy, so God creating evil wouldn't make sense. Now, some Bible translations do use Isaiah 45:7 to say that it says in the Bible that God created evil, but when you actually look at the original Hebrew, what it actually says is calamity, which is another word for evil. The cross-translational confusion comes basically from the idea of, what's the context, because the context would determine whether it was saying God creates calamity or God creates evil. And the context of Isaiah 45:7 talks about punishment, so it makes more sense that God would be creating calamity in the situation of punishment. Okay, and that's good and fine and everything, but that still doesn't answer the question of where evil came from, because evil had to still come from somewhere. Now, I have my Bible app up here, and the answer basically is that evil comes from Satan. So in Ezekiel 28, God is prophesying against certain nations, and one of them he's prophesying against is Tyre, specifically the prince of Tyre. And in the midst of this prophesying and everything, it's very clear against the prince of Tyre that God is talking not just to the prince of Tyre, but he's talking to Satan. And how that works exactly is a little unclear, but through this we actually get the origin of evil within Satan. So I'm going to read Ezekiel 28, starting in verse 14, going on to verse 18. You were an anointed guardian cherub. I placed you. You were on the holy mountain of God. In the midst of the stones of fire you walked. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created, till unrighteousness was found in you. That's the key verse. In the abundance of your trade you were filled with violence in your midst, and you sinned. So I cast you as a profane thing from the mountain of God, and I destroyed you, O guardian cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. Your heart was proud because of your beauty. You corrupted your wisdom for the sake of your splendor. I cast you to the ground. I exposed you before kings to feast their eyes on you. By the multitude of your iniquities, in the unrighteousness of your trade, you profaned your sanctuaries. So I brought fire out from your midst and consumed you, and I turned you to ashes on the earth in the sight of all who saw you. So it's very clear from reading those verses that evil originated within Satan. But the question that I imagine many of you guys have is, if God created everything perfect, then how did evil come out of something that was perfect? Now, it does seem to be a bit of a contradiction, and different people will give you slightly different answers to this, but the answer that makes the most sense to me is that evil was a natural byproduct and the end result of Satan following his God-given free will at the time. The way I think of it is, Satan could not have been perfect if he had not been given perfect free will. And in order to have perfect free will, he had to have the choice to see his beauty and basically see if it was either, due to God or due to him. And he chose due to him. And from there, a multitude of other sins started to arise. He started to go down this path, and he just kept going down it with his thoughts, eventually his actions, and then Satan was ultimately the first sinner. And then because of Satan's sin, he was ultimately cast out of heaven, down to earth in Eden, and that's how evil ended up in our world, was from Satan. So I hope you can see and understand from there that evil does not come from God. Evil was just allowed to exist by God, and by evil's existence we have a chance to know God that much better and to have a much deeper and more meaningful relationship with God in spite of evil. And I want you guys to always remember, God is so much greater than evil, no matter how bad and horrible it seems because of the things that are going on in this world. I see them and it's hard to see sometimes, but just remember, God is always greater. Alright, I hope this clears up any confusion that you guys had about the origin of evil and its existence. Please subscribe to my channel, comment, like, and share my videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day or a blessed night, and I will see you in the next one.